Erev Tov, and welcome once again to our nightly count of the Omer. Continuing on this journey, and I would venture to say it's beginning to really feel like a journey of the 49 days between Pesach and Shavuot, the first grains, the first fruits, the liberation from Mitzrayim, from our narrow space where we dwelled, moving out into Midbar, into the expanse of the wilderness to receive those Aseret Dibrot, those 10 utterances, those 10 commandments, which some would call revelation. So we take breaths to center ourselves in this moment, because that is an important part of the practice. Counting each day, recognizing each moment, each step along the way. And so we bless. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al sefirat haomer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign spirit of the universe, who brings us holiness with the mitzvot and connects to us with the counting of the Omer. Hayom, Shnayim ve'esrim yom, shehem shlosha shavuot v'yom echad ba'omer. Today is, we need to count it, yes. Today is 22 days, which is 3 weeks and 1 day of the Omer. Chesed shebenetzach, a day of loving kindness in a week of perseverance. So as you see, we're starting our 4th week of the Omer, a week of perseverance. And I was thinking, when thinking about this week of perseverance coming up, and I was thinking about how I talked about the difference between chesed and tiferet, loving kindness and compassion. That chesed was emotion and emanating out. And compassion had that emotion, that loving kindness type emotion, but with a direction, in a stream, not vaporous, but in a stream with a focus. And I realized in many ways, Gevurah and Netzach also follow that same kind of relationship. Right? Because Gevurah, I don't know if I think of it as an emotion, but I think of Gevurah as an attribute. Right? It is a thing, but it's an attribute. Whereas perseverance has that strength kind of attribute to it, but it as well has a focus, and a very particular focus, more than compassion, which kind of takes that etherealness from loving kindness and kind of it's directed towards something, but in a larger way. Perseverance, or it could be different things. Perseverance is very much tied to moving forward, to keep going, to keep moving. I can't say it could be a coincidence that is that 4th week, this middle week of our journey. This, I like to think of it as the Wednesday of the Omer weeks, right? That hump day, that middle day, this middle week, where we could really use the push to remind ourselves of what it takes to practice perseverance. So again, this week, as we walk this week, as we take these steps, I do invite you to think about, what does perseverance mean, and how are these extra steps with loving kindness and strength, compassion, humility, foundation, majesty? Because we're in a place right now where, quite frankly, perseverance means a lot to a lot of us right now. We need that, right? We don't know what life is going to change. Life has changed. And we need to be able to move through and to adapt and to keep going. So this week is a good week, while many of us are still inside, to think about what the different aspects and what it would take to hold that perseverance in the world. And we also need perseverance in the Jewish world. We are, as evidenced by our very existence, I would say, a resilient people. We've made it through a lot of difficulties, to say the least, and we've adapted. I mean, I've talked more than once in this journey about how we had to change things. When a priest-centered, land-centered, temple-centered, spiritual religion, when all those things that it was centered on were destroyed, we adapted. The rabbis reinvented. We took the traditions, but made them work in a world without those things readily available to us, if at all. Now, what did they make it? Well, they made it more personal. They made it centered around community. There was no temple. There were no priests. We did the ritual instead of the priests. And we didn't bring it to a temple. We gathered in community. And that has held us for so many years. And now I think we're making another turn of a needing to adapt. Right now, we haven't been able to gather at all. And even when we can go out, we will be constricted. We will be in that narrow place. We will need to find a way to create and maintain the connections that we've carried with us and has sustained us, given us the perseverance to keep going. And that very thing that we have relied on has been taken away. And there are many of us, and I am one of those people, for whom it's brutal. It's really difficult when that is the center of where it is and where you go, and in just one fell swoop it's taken away. It's hard. And we don't know how we're going to go forward. And people are working on that. But yeah, it's broken. And as last week, I talked about, and we looked at the fact that from those broken spaces, to get to the expanse, to get our way through it, we need to carry compassion. And I know that the compassion is there and will continue to come. The perseverance to see it through, to figure out how we see it through, that will take more work. Leila Tov. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we continue to see where the perseverance will come from.